Well, you may have been dreaming of May flowers and higher temps. You aren't going to be excited about your air conditioning bills you're going to have this summer. And I've got tips for you to save as summer approaches. So, I love warm weather. I love hot weather. I mean, I even went to Death Valley in summer when it was 122 degrees. I wondered why there was nobody out there except foreigners and me. Because I'm not very smart, and they wanted to go, so it makes us even. But what I can't stand is when those power bills start climbing and climbing and climbing. So I want you to think about things you can do that you're not just passive, that you can make a difference in what those bills are going to be. And I talk about this especially in the winter, is zoning for heating, which is something that in other countries people have done forever, even with central heating. They've always done zoning where if you've got, with these larger houses that have become how so many of us live in America, and you have rooms that are never really used, so you don't want to heat those when nobody's in them. And you want to heat where you'd be cold that you're in. And zoning is something that the poor man's way of doing it is you close vents in rooms you're not using, not what heating and air conditioning contractors recommend. They recommend that you do a split system where you can control through the dampers what air goes to different places in your home. Conditioned air, colder air in the summer, hot air in the winter. Or you could just pipe in the voice of politicians in the winter, and all the hot air would heat your rooms. But I digress. So that's a real easy thing. You've heard me for years talk about the energy setback thermostats and using those. But as has been pointed out in the past, in areas of the country of high humidity in the summer, you don't want to go overboard. You want to have cool air servicing areas you're not using in your home. Not necessarily as cold as it would be elsewhere in the home where you are, but you don't want to have air conditioning not on because the danger the high humidity can cause to your home, potentially even causing mold growth. You want to make sure as we move into the cooling season, your filters and vents are clean and clear. And if you have not done so, and you're in a home or townhome, pull down the attic stair, go look upstairs. If there's lights in there, turn them on. If there's not, an ultra bright flashlight, and look and see if you can see the rafters. If you can see the rafters, you are throwing money away because you do not have it adequately insulated. And you're paying to cool or heat the attic instead of your living space. Insulation is a cheap fix. In fact, one of our employees is insulating today because there was not adequate insulation in the attic. She's not doing it herself. She hired a contractor. But this is a job that some people do it yourself. Most often, it's something that people do with insulation that is done by a professional. But there's lots of things you can do yourself to improve the energy efficiency moving into the summer cooling season. We've got a full list at Clark.com of 15 different things you can do, broken down into bite-sized parts of things you can do to reduce those bills and still be comfortable like you want to be in the space you're in your home. The other thing is there are energy efficiency rebates that are in effect right now that in theory are on the books till 2032. I don't believe it. future Congresses give things, they take things away. So there's no time like the present to do those energy improvements that will get you a big federal tax credit to a small federal tax credit, depending on what you're doing, and reduce those bills going forward and not be worried about a heat wave heating up your wallet too much when the bill comes in.